Day 5. We've begun to explore style as an outward expression of the internal self. Take a moment to reflect on how you want to feel in your clothes. How can those feelings translate into visual form? Elements of design such as color, contrast, emphasis, form, line, movement, pattern, proportion, repetition, scale, shape, texture, and variety will help you create the signature looks and a cohesive style that represent the feelings you desire to experience and express in your life. Let's explore how each of the elements mentioned above show up in the wardrobe. Color. Color is a tonal vibration that evokes and stimulates an emotion. What emotional response do you have when wearing specific colors? Color also helps create depth perception. In a look of two contrasting colors, one color will feel as though it recedes into the background, while the other color will feel as though it is coming forward. In a monochromatic look, an ensemble of a one-color range, the tone, the value scale of light to dark, of a color will also create depth perception within a look, highlighting and minimizing areas of the body and/or ensemble. Contrast. Contrast is the difference between two elements of a design, such as color, texture, and shape. Contrast helps add and subtract visual weight and both emphasizes and minimizes form. In the wardrobe, contrasting colors and textures can make the shape of a body appear slimmer or fuller depending on the placement of the design element. Emphasis. Emphasis is the level of importance to an element of the overall design. If you have ever heard the phrase statement piece, you know that this part of the ensemble and/or wardrobe is emphasized as special and outstanding while the rest of the ensemble or wardrobe is quieter. To emphasize something in your wardrobe is to offer it the spotlight. What do you want to highlight? Form. How does a garment exaggerate, minimize, and even hide the lines and angles of your body? Through form. Form is the three dimensions of a shape, giving the illusion that other lines and shapes may be present. The specific placement of forms can give the illusion that some areas of the body are smaller, while others are larger. Through the scaling of form in an ensemble, emotion is evoked within both wearer and viewer. Line. Visual pathways that connect elements of design are known as lines. Lines offer an intentional direction for the eye to follow and can be found in the stripes of a pattern, in the piping of a garment's edge, and in the thread of a seam. Lines create the shapes of a garment and influence the pace of the eye's movement across the total composition of the ensemble. Movement. Movement is the motion created by the relationship between all elements of design constructing a garment, and it is how the eye travels over the composition of the garment and ensemble. How does a skirt swing while its wearer is walking? How does a catsuit expand on a body that stretches and contorts? What line does your eye follow as you see a veil on the crown of a wearer's head cascade down to the floor? Pattern. The precise or regular design of repeated shapes, colors, and textural weaves are known as a pattern. Patterns show up in the faux grain of a stamped leather, in the repeated print of a digitally painted fabric, and in the reoccurrence of a weave or knot in a knit. Patterns also represent themselves in the repetition of symbols throughout a wardrobe. Proportion. The relationship between elements of design through their size and visual and physical weight is known as proportion. Proportion helps to create a sense of balance among the elements of design and the overall ensemble. In putting together a two-piece outfit, we might ask ourselves how the upper half and lower half of the ensemble feel in proportion to one another. Is there an energetic disconnect and unequal weight distribution, or do both sides have a continuous energetic flow back and forth? Repetition. Elements that repeat, creating a sense of beat and movement, are known as repetition. The space between each element that is repeated in the process informs the speed and sound of an element. If a shape, color, or texture is seen more than once in the overall ensemble, what is the measurement of spacing between that element of design, and does the spacing of that repeated element feel fast or slow, thunderous or tranquil? A jacket bedazzled with 1,000,000 rhinestones slows your eye as you want to see all rhinestones covering the whole piece, whereas the line that repeats once at the top and once at the bottom of a piece offers you a quick and precise summary of what the piece is about. Scale. Scale is the size of an element of design in relation to other parts of the overall design. Scale is sometimes used to direct the viewer's eye toward parts of an ensemble that hold the most importance. This can be done by enlarging or shrinking an element relative to neighboring elements in the design. For example, scale is often played with in the size of a belt buckle in proportion to the size of the belt. How do you feel looking at a buckle 5 times the width of a belt versus looking at a buckle half of the width of the belt versus looking at a buckle and belt that are both the same width? Shape. A shape is an enclosed line that creates a boundary and lives in the second dimension. In the wardrobe, shapes translate the energy of the four elements: air, earth, fire, and water. For example, the shape of a circle suggests fluidity, water, in contrast to the shape of a square, earth, that denotes a fixed or rigid energy. The shape of a triangle can feel dynamic, fire, or whimsical, air. Texture. Texture offers visual and emotional depth to shapes while also emphasizing the volume of a form. What do you feel emotionally when you touch or see the texture of a fabric surface? Textures also play on the four elements within an ensemble. For example, some textures are pitted like the earth, others project and protrude wildly, like fire, and others reflect like water. Variety. Variety is the result of how much, or how little, visual interest the wardrobe provides. How many pieces are in a collection that can be mixed, matched, and reimagined into new pieces and ensembles? How many combinations of outfits can be made with the garments owned? The elements of design are important to consider when creating your signature look and style. Whether you want to create a look that is quiet or audacious, precious or voluminous, these elements will help you to convey the characteristics of your style and desire to both embody and exude. How have the elements of design shown up in your wardrobe up to now? Can you identify the elements in what you currently own? Do you notice any repeating colors, shapes, patterns, or textures? Are there any elements of your current wardrobe that excite or exhaust you? Need help answering some of these questions? As you touch each item, do you find yourself saying, "Oh, I love this. I love the way this. I love the fill in the blank on this." Or do you find yourself saying, "Ugh, I can't stand the way this specific thing really bothers me"? Your intuitive responses will help you better understand which elements of design light you up and which ones not so much. You don't have to do anything with this information just yet, but keep notes on how you respond to the elements in your wardrobe within your sketchpad or journal near your wardrobe count and cataloging information. Action step. Continue with the count. Count and catalog all shoes from sports shoes to party shoes. Remember to photograph or sketch each pair of shoes into your chosen cataloging system, and then record how many pairs total are in this category. Try on each shoe as it is counted and cataloged. Take a photo of yourself while wearing the shoes, and then take notes on how you feel in each pair, and if that pair needs special cleaning, resoling, or repairing. Gently place the hots back into your closet and package the knots for the consignment bin.